Sean Combs is accused by Cassie of rape and years of abuse in lawsuit. In the suit, the singer says Mr. Combs, known as Puff Daddy or Diddy, subjected her to a pattern of control and abuse over about a decade. Mr. Combs vehemently denied the allegations. Diddy got caught diddling. He did. And again, he has accusations against him from men and women. So, and they're saying that Usher was somebody who was abused. Was it Usher? Yes, it was Usher and Justin Bieber are both to be, people think that Diddy actually took advantage of them and promised them a career. So, which is not new in the music or entertainment industry. None of this is new. This is very, very, this is business as usual. And that's why, as too far, I think, as Me Too went, I think it was something that was necessary, but I don't think it cleared out the rot. I don't think it did what it was supposed to. It did ruin a lot of dudes' lives. It did do that. There were some people who got accused of shit that ended up being, innocent. Johnny Depp is a good one. But, I think it was a necessary thing to start rooting out this problem where there's an exchange of sexual favors for fame. And I think if people are consenting to that, I think it's fucked up. But if people are consenting to that, I think then whatever. But there's a lot of people, when you look at the Weinstein case, there's a lot of people who were not consenting. They were consenting, but they were also being raped. I'm going to actually take that back. I don't think it's right to ask for sexual favors for in any situation. Let me redact that, because now that I'm thinking about it, it's not cool to fucking ask for sex to fucking for fame or money or anything. In this context where you're working for somebody, right? Now, if it's a prostitute type of thing, that's consenting. Sex work is different because you're going there with a specific reason to go and fuck somebody for money or drugs or whatever it is. And sex workers, again, God bless them. God bless the sex workers. But if you're an actress who is from middle of nowhere, if you're from fucking shithole Michigan and you go out to LA and fucking get off the bus and you're just being passed around and you're being you're being groomed and you're fucking, people are telling you, they're in your ear and they're like, yo, you're going to be famous. You're going to be big. All you got to do is suck this dick. That's gross. That's disgusting. Even if the woman wants to do it or the dude wants to do it, either one, I think it's still gross. And no one should be in that position of power telling people that I can make your life better if you just suck this dick. It's gross. That's what I asked myself. Can you really consent if there's such an off-power dynamic? Yeah, Maury. And that's why I sort of had to step back and make sure and correct that, because you're absolutely right. There's this dynamic of power and that's unacceptable. You can't. Yeah, exactly, Naders. Thank you. Thank you guys for keeping me straight. Because you can't really consent to something when there's someone sort of holding access. They have access to something. What is that? Gatekeeping or whatever. But that is predatory behavior. So Diddy is a predator. I'm willing to go as far as to say it's pretty, because again, how many times have we talked about artists who's been accused and it's like one, maybe two accusations, maybe they're being lied on. But when you have multiple over fucking 30 years of being in this business, that's a fucking I'll take the $1 million. I feel like it's a little different for dudes though, right? Dudes aren't gross enough to be like, yeah, I'll suck your dick for fucking $2 million. I'm not saying that's what you would do, Nate. I'm not saying you'd suck dick for millions of dollars. But I think if I brought that proposition to my wife, she'd be like, well, do you feel like sucking dick? I mean, are you into the dick? Do you want to suck that dick? Because we certainly could use a few $1,000,000. My wife would be like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I've been doing it. Never mind. I won't say that. Okay. Sean Combs, the producer and music mogul who has been one of the most famous names in hip-hop for decades, was sued in federal court on Thursday by Cassie, an R&B singer once signed to his label, who accused Mr. Combs of rape and repeated physical abuse over about a decade. Now, not just the sexual assault, but there's been physical abuse, and there's been several women who've come out over the years saying that he's been physical with them, and we'll kind of go over that as well. I've only tried it once. It was mine. I couldn't reach it. I wish we could show fucking, God, what's his name? Ron, what's his name? Ron, what's the porn star's name? Is it Ron Jeremy? I wish we could show Ron Jeremy sucking his own dick, because it's amazingly funny, and it makes you feel a little weird too. I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Naders. In the suit filed in federal district court in Manhattan, Cassie, whose real name is Cassandra Ventura, and who had long been Mr. Combs' romantic partner, says that not long after she met him in 2005, when she was 19, he began a pattern of control and abuse that included plying her legs with drugs. What is plying her legs? Where did legs come in? See, we're already hitting these words I'm fucking up here. Plying her with drugs, beating her, and forcing her to have sex with a succession of male prostitutes while he filmed the encounters. In 2018, the suit says near the end of their relationship, Mr. Combs forced his way into her home and raped her. Fuck you, Diddy. After years in silence and darkness, Miss Ventura said in a statement, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on my behalf and for the benefit of other women who have faced violence and abuse in their relationships. In response, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, Ben Braffman, said, Mr. Combs vehemently denies these offensive and outrageous allegations. For the past 6 months, Mr. Combs has been subjected to Miss Ventura's persistent demand of $30 million under the threat of writing a damaging book about their relationship, which was unequivocally rejected as blatant blackmail. Despite withdrawing her initial threat, Miss Ventura has now restored to filing a lawsuit riddled with baseless and outrageous lies, aiming to tarnish Mr. Combs' reputation and seeking a payday. And of course, this is always what people are afraid of. And what's interesting about the Diddy thing is that you're not seeing a huge public support for him. Whereas R. Kelly still has people who are like, free R. Kelly, free him, please. And of course, there's going to be free Diddy, right? But Diddy I feel like over the years, has sort of garnered a name of being ruthless with business. There's suspicion of him murdering his own people on his own label, such as Biggie Smalls. There is, I feel like over the years that Diddy has presented himself as kind of a scumfuck, and people aren't really willing to bend into that. Whereas for whatever reason, because R. Kelly has been a scumfuck for a long time, and people knew about the whole Aaliyah thing and him pissing on people and on little girls for a long time, and let that shit slide for whatever reason. But I believe it was because R. Kelly didn't have like a fucked up, public persona. Like Diddy has a kind of fucked up public persona. Like people are like really weird. Like he's real weird about some shit. Oh, what the heck? That's some Criminal Minds shit. I mean, his name is Puff Daddy. Doesn't seem like the most women respecting guy. Yes, I agree. He also does come from that era of being misogynistic, those lyrics of misogyny within hip hop. he does come from that era. He does come from an era where, women are in, and it's still the same, but like the women have sort of encompassed that, video hoe thing, because that's a whole thing, like video hoe. Like there's Insta hoes, and God bless the Insta hoes and the video hoes. I'm not trying to disparage them. But that idea of video hoes getting champagne poured on you and then just shaking their asses in slow motion at a pool party, that kind of imagery. So yeah, it does seem like it's he comes from an era, and he does seem like he is someone who doesn't respect women very much, or men. Free diddles. Nader is just like, free diddles. Come on over. You want diddles? I got them for free. Consenting diddles only. That's in the byline. I mean, that's like 20, 30 years ago, but I don't know. He for sure has had a bad rep. Yeah, I agree. But I'm just saying that you're coming from an environment that sort of encompassed the misogyny of women within the music. That was the lifestyle that he sort of came up in and sort of cut his teeth in. And so I can only imagine that hasn't really gone anywhere, regardless of what his music has turned into. He probably diddled a little too much. Well, that's what happened. He's been just treating women and men. Again, there's accusations of him being sexually inappropriate with men. He's been doing this for a long time at a top level, right? Like Harvey Weinstein was at a very high level serial rapist, a high level fucking power and money and the ability to uplift or destroy careers. That's where they're at here. Like when Nelly got in trouble for swiping a credit card in a woman's ass. It was her idea. No, there's video of Nelly like singing sexy to children, to little girls on stage. He got some shit for that. Have you guys ever seen Nelly singing like sexily to little girls? Raina's talking loudly to Saucy because they're doing homework right now. Nelly sings to little girls. Nelly sings it while twirling their hair. Like, look at this shit. Look at her. She looks uncomfortable. Look at her, she's like pulling away from him. I'm sorry, that's a little weird to me. A great man once said, everything is about sex, except sex. Sex is about power. Kevin Spacey. I mean, did you guys see that all the charges have been dropped, though? Yeah, Kevin Spacey is fucking... But to be fair, Kevin Spacey, the accusations and lawsuits have been dropped, and he's been found. No, not just dropped; they have been thrown out of court. I believe Kevin Spacey is creepy, dude. He is creepy, creepier than Biden. I don't know, because Biden has the power to like level entire countries in the world. Kevin Spacey, like. Michael Jackson is very creepy. Okay. What is it? Kevin Spacey lawsuit drop. Let me see if this comes up. Yeah, there was actually a New York jury found Kevin Spacey not liable in an October 2022 verdict. In 2018, Massachusetts authorities charged Spacey with indecent assault and battery over allegations that he had groped an 18-year-old at a bar in Nantucket 2 years prior. He pleaded not guilty. This case was dropped after witnesses failed to testify. So he was acquitted in the law, but in public opinion, people still are like, Kevin Spacey's gross. Anyways, talking about these fucking predators gets me all fucking worked up, and not in a good way, and not in like a clean ass eating way. W.S.E.G, a lawyer for Miss Ventura, said the parties had spoken before the suit was filed. Mr. Combs offered Miss Ventura 8 figures to silence her and prevent the filing of this lawsuit. He said she rejected his efforts. Idiocracy is free on YouTube? No way. That's dope. I got to show that to my son. Saucy's got to watch Idiocracy. Thanks for putting me on, Naders, because Saucy needs to see Idiocracy. Ms. Ventura's case is the latest in a series of sexual assault civil suits filed recently against prominent men in the music industry, including Steven Tyler, who just had another accusation. Steven Tyler, executive L.A. Reid, and Neil Portnoy, the former head of the organization behind the Grammy Awards. So yeah, there is a bunch, and I've been covering this in my blog, actually. If you guys are ever interested in checking out wespeakenglishgood.com, you can go and check it out. It's under WSEG News, and we have all kinds of stuff. I haven't been able to get into it today, but yeah, we try to, we update most every day. But if you guys ever want to just see what's going on, y'all fucking subscribe on your RSS feed wherever you get your blogs. And yeah. Anyways, is that why you love Crocs, Dad? Morby's dead. Yes. Yes, because Idiocracy had Crocs in it because they were looking for a futuristic shoe that was very ugly, and they decided Crocs would do. Let's see, Crocs and Idiocracy. That's funny. Look at that. Look at them deep cut jokes that Morby's throwing out there. Look at they're all wearing Crocs. He's wearing Crocs. They hated it. But I like my Crocs, yo. My Crocs are the shit. I got them cooking Crocs. Anyways, Nelly's gross. Lots of men getting sort of taken down right now. Again, high-powered men in the music industry, again, being taken down. I'm not mad at it. But, we'll see what happens, right? We'll see what comes of it. Mr. Combs, 54, founded Bad Boy in 1993 and became one of the primary figures in the commercialization. Okay, we know that. We all know that. All right. So Mr. Combs, who in his career has variously been known as Puff Daddy, Diddy, and Love, which he's currently going by Love, which no one's calling him Love, may be the most famous music executive of his generation, but the suit depicts Mr. Combs as a violent person who, beyond repeatedly assaulting Miss Ventura, asked her to carry his gun in her purse, and the suit suggests he was responsible for blowing up the car of a rival suitor. This is where it gets fucking crazy, dude. This shit is nuts. In one incident, the suit says Mr. Combs dangled a friend of Miss Ventura's over a 17th floor hotel balcony. Like fucking Suge Knight and Vanilla Ice. Like, what the fuck, dude? But this is what's crazy, right? In naming additional defendant, let's sort of, I think they cover it in here, but we'll break away for it in a second. In naming additional defendants, the court papers assert that others who worked with Mr. Combs had helped him to control Miss Ventura, at times by threatening her with retribution, like suppressing her music if she did not obey his orders, or by helping to conceal his behavior. The suit, which names Mr. Combs and a number of his associated companies as defendants, seeks unspecified damages. So, carrying someone else's gun, that is fucked up. I wouldn't ask my wife to carry my fucking gun. First of all, it's not her gun. So if she got caught with it, I don't know if she'd be arrested, but it's not good. If she had to use it and it wasn't hers, then there's a problem. But I think she would be fine if she got, I don't know. I honestly don't know the laws that well. I just like things. Miss Ventura at times by threatening Okay, yeah, we're moving on here. According to Miss Ventura's suit, she has swept into Mr. Combs' jet set lifestyle. Oh, she was swept into Mr. Combs' jet set lifestyle not long after meeting him and signing with Bad Boy, which released her debut album in 2006. I'm Grace's fall guy. Good. But the suit says he soon began to assert an extraordinary level of command over her life. In addition to controlling her career, he paid for her car, apartments, and clothing, and even had access to her personal medical records. God damn, I didn't know that shit. According to the suit, the results from an MRI scan she had for her memory loss, possibly caused by drug use or by a beating she said she suffered from Mr. Combs, went directly to Mr. Combs. Motherfucker, dude, that is control. That's predator shit. That is predator shit right there. Mr. Combs also provided Ms. Ventura with copious amounts of drugs, including ecstasy and ketamine, and urged her to take them, the suit says, and often became violent, beating her multiple times each year. The suit says Ms. Ventura never went to the police because she feared it would merely give Mr. Combs another excuse to hurt her, which that's the cycle of abuse, right? She's 19. He was, 37? He's almost 40, and he's with a 19-year-old. The copious amount of drugs, man. I mean, that's not it's not a bad way to do it, but you know what they do to these sex trafficked women, children, and young boys? They keep them high on drugs, so they're easily controlled and easily accessible, and they're more vulnerable in that sense that they're just, you can do whatever with them. They just turn pliable, and so you'll see a lot of times these young sex trafficked children are all hooked on heroin or fentanyl or whatever the fuck it is. They're all just high off their ass, just being used and discarded. How else do you think she keeps me around? She keeps you drugged. It's the only way I stay. She knows what I like. She has my drug cocktail ready for me every night when I get home. In one incident in Los Angeles in 2009, the suit says Mr. Combs became enraged when he saw Miss Ventura talking to another talent agent, then pushed her into a car and kicked her repeatedly in the face, making her bleed. According to the suit, Mr. Combs then had his staff bring her to a hotel room to recuperate for a week. She asked to go home to her parents, but Mr. Combs refused, the suit says. I gotta call a doctor after 4 hours. Hey-o! The suit says that after seeing the violent repercussions of rejecting Mr. Combs and the extent to which he would isolate her from her support network, Ms. Ventura felt like that saying no to Mr. Combs would cost her something: her family, her friends, her career, or even her life. And though she tried to leave Mr. Combs, the suit says he sent his employees to lure her back. In one incident described in court papers, Ms. Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so okay, before we get into this, because this is where Kid Cudi comes in, it did come out too that he sent her on vacations to remote islands to recover from beatings. Like, he would beat her so bad that he would hide her out. He also was paying off hotels to keep quiet when they saw her all bloodied up, or the racket they were causing while he was beating the fuck out of her in a hotel room. He was paying off hotel employees to keep quiet. So there's a lot of stuff. Now, I don't know if they've corroborated that with the witnesses that he allegedly paid off, but because there's not really word on that, but you know, that just adds to the story. And of course, there's always a possibility that Cassie is making this all up. I don't think she is, because there's such a lineage of fucking abuse throughout his career. I don't think she's just making this shit up. I do think it's a money grab, which, fuck it, why not? Fuck them. And also, she was able, because you might be thinking that this was back in 2006, maybe you're thinking that there's a statute of limitations. Well, in New York and I believe in Los Angeles, I don't know if it's all of California, I believe they have temporarily taken away statute of limitations for sexual assault for the next few years. And that's why you're seeing like these older cases come up, like Steven Tyler is getting sued and having, all this stuff come out right now because of this statute of limitations has been lifted, I believe temporarily in these states. So these people who were abused are coming out of the woodwork and sort of coming back for, rightfully so, for some kind of retribution, which is fair. Because, 7 years, and I believe 7 years is the statute of limitations, but the damage that is done when you're raped or sexually assaulted or beaten, that don't go away in 7 years. I mean, just because the law goes away in 7 years doesn't mean fucking the trauma goes away in 7 years. So these are lifelong scars that victims have to deal with. I don't like to say victims because it sort of make them feel weak, because I don't feel weak as somebody who has been sexually assaulted as a child. Like I don't feel weak now. I feel empowered that I know what the fuck to look for, and I know that I can protect my child. You can't protect everything. I won't be able to protect them always, but as a child under my care, I can, and I will. I will, motherfucker. Anyways, let's see here. In one incident described in court papers, Miss Ventura says that in early 2012, Mr. Combs grew so angry about her dating the rapper Kid Cudi that he said he would blow up the rapper's car. Around that time, the suit says, Kid Cudi's car exploded in his driveway. What? Are you fucking kidding me? Fucking Kid Cudi? Day and night. Okay. Anyways, I don't even know the words to that song, but this song kicks, right? Kanye and Kid Cudi. Through a spokeswoman, Kid Cudi confirmed Miss Ventura's account that he had a car that exploded. This is all true, he said, confirming, right? Yeah. A few years into Miss Ventura's relationship with Mr. Combs, okay, hold on. It is fucking wild. Like, this dude is unhinged. And did you guys see him as the Joker? Because he was Batman this year for Halloween. Last year was the Joker, and he freaked people out. Diddy as the Joker. Like, this shit's weird. And he almost gets in a fight with, I forgot who he almost gets in a fight with. He almost fights power actor. He almost fights.
We're going to start with Diddy in a fight, and too much. And
okay,
it's pretty good, I gotta say. I think
so
Michael Ferguson
creepy.
from Power would say that he definitely committed too much. Look at this interaction here, and you
this
can tell that
creepy.
Michael has no idea who he's dealing with at first.
Yeah, you. Yeah, him. Just because I said yeah.
Look how unhinged he is.
What's up, baby? What's up, baby? What's up? What's up? You don't like me? Get to it. If you don't like me, you in front. Get to it. Don't play with me on Halloween. I'm out here with love. You want to have love? It's what up, then. Come on, man, I'll bust your
Nah, hey, keep it.
Make sure you don't never talk to me like that. Love,
Man.
do you know who I am?
Who gives a fuck who you are? You're coming up to somebody who is fucking semi-famous, who is already vulnerable to crazy people just approaching them. You're dressed as the Joker, laughing maniacally with a fucking gun in your fucking hands. What? What do you think is gonna happen, bitch? Method acting. He's fucking crazy. He's crazy. I gotta say, I've never really liked Puff Daddy. Even when Puff Daddy, was huge, and even when I was a young dude, and I liked Biggie, I was never a fan of Puffy. I always sort of was like Suge Knight, how he was like, if you don't want a producer up in all your videos and on your songs, come to Death Row. He said that, I believe, at, what was it, the Spice Awards or MTV Award? I can't remember. It was some sort of award show. He said that about, fucking dildo diddling Diddy here. And I always had that mentality anyways. And Puff Daddy's, I mean, some of the music is really cool, but like, I've never liked the dude as a person. Like, I've never seen him as somebody that is like, oh, that dude's cool. Like I like Snoop Dogg because I think he's cool and I like his music. He's just a cool dude, right? Did you guys see this motherfucker said he quit smoking weed and it was all a front just to fucking sell some smokeless fucking fire pit? He said he quit the smoke. For the last week, he's been doing this whole Instagram campaign, and it ended up being a fucking campaign for an ad. And people are like, "Oh, what the fuck?" Hold on, let's take a pause for the cause. What time is it? Oh, it's 3:23. Okay. We got to get through this. We're not even through the whole story yet. There's so much we got to get through. All right, let's just not. We'll skip that. We'll skip that because our guest is going to be on here soon. And I want to get through this. We haven't even got through the goddamn story yet. Anyways, according to the suit, Mr. Combs called these encounters freak-offs, which involved costumes like masquerade masks and lingerie. They continued for years, taking place at high-end hotels across the United States and in Mr. Combs' homes. The suit says that he instructed Miss Ventura to search the website of escort services to procure male sex workers. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Miss Ventura, I mean, these parties had to be dope, though. How dope are these parties, though? Drugs were supplied at these events. As long as you're not like his girlfriend and P. Diddy's girlfriend, this party had to be dope. Drugs were supplied at these events, which Ms. Ventura's suit says she took because they allowed her to disassociate during these horrific encounters. According to the suit, Ms. Ventura would delete videos from these incidents that had been shot on her phone, but Mr. Combs told her he still had access to those videos, and on a flight once made her watch a video she thought she had deleted. So he's also putting it in her face, fucking further making her feel like less than and controlled. What is that called? I wish I could think of the word. I suck at words sometimes. The suit says that as a result of these sexual encounters in different cities, Miss Ventura was a victim of sex trafficking. The suit also accuses Mr. Combs of sexual battery, sexual assault, and violations of New York City's gender-motivated violence law. So it's considered sex trafficking because he would take her across state lines. And so then it becomes trafficking and it becomes a federal situation here in America. Ms. Ventura's suit includes several accounts of her unsuccessful attempts to escape Mr. Combs' control. And one example of the suit says that during a freak-off at a Los Angeles hotel in 2016, an intoxicated Mr. Combs punched Ms. Ventura in the face, giving her a black eye. He fell asleep and she tried to leave the room, but Mr. Combs woke up and followed her into the hallway where he threw glass vases at her, sending glass shattering throughout the corridor. According to the court filing, the hotel security cameras captured the incident, but the suit says Mr. Combs paid the hotel $50,000 for the footage. So here they are. Here he is paying off people to protect his reputation. and to protect his crimes against this woman. The court filing says that in 2018, after Mr. Combs and Miss Ventura met for dinner, he forced himself into her apartment and raped her while she repeatedly said no and tried to push him away. After that, the suit says she left him for good. Miss Ventura married Alex Find, a personal trainer, the following year and now has 2 young children. According to the complaint, her association with Bad Boy ended in 2019. Ms. Ventura's case, like other recent sexual assault lawsuits, is being brought under the Adult Survivors Act, a New York law that allows people who say they were victims of sexual abuse to file civil lawsuits after the statute of limitations has expired. The 1-year window to bring cases under this law ends next week. So what happened with Steven Tyler for the first accusation was that they had a similar law where they were lifting these statute of limitations, but the fuck? Where is that? Hold on, guys. The other hole is a no to. Cancel rappers. I love rappers. The fuck? Whose alarm's going off? Pissing me off. We got a lot to get through. Not enough time. Rapers. Oh. Raper. Rapers canceled. Rappers forever. What the fuck is that?
It's my phone.
Man, get that shit out of here. Sorry. Sorry, movie touch.
How dare you?
So, like I was saying, Steven Tyler had some accusations brought up against him, and California had a similar law like the Adult Survivors Act in New York. And she had a limited time to file civil lawsuit. So this is a civil lawsuit. It's not a criminal lawsuit. So even if she were to win, it wouldn't mean that he is guilty of the actual act. It just means that they found him guilty in a civil way. And I'm sorry, I'm not a lawyer. I can't explain that very well. But it's like the OJ thing, right? Like he was found guilty of civil in a civil trial. And he had to pay a bunch of money to Nicole's family. I can't remember their last name. But he didn't have to go to jail. So it wasn't a criminal lawsuit. It's a civil lawsuit. So no one, even if he was found guilty, he wouldn't be going to jail. He just had to pay this lady a lot of money. Rightfully so. Okay, that law is cited in Ms. Ventura's complaint, and in a statement she addressed its importance. With the expiration of the New York... Okay, we know that. So there's that. Now, one day after the lawsuit was filed in New York, Sean Diddy Combs and Singer Cassie settled lawsuit alleging abuse one day after it was filed. So this is the very next day. So this was like a few days ago, or the 16th, I believe. And then the 17th, they were like, no, cut that shit right now. We're not doing it. So a lawsuit by Singer Cassie containing allegations of beating and abuse by music producer Diddy Combs has been settled, the artist announced Friday, one day after the lawsuit was filed. The settlement was announced in a statement sent by attorney W.S.E.G, who represents Cassie, whose full name is Cassandra Ventura. The statement said they have reached a deal to their mutual satisfaction Friday evening, but no terms of the agreement were disclosed and no further statements would be issued beyond those made by Ventura, Combs, and Wigdor in the email distributed by the lawyer. So they're closing it down. They're shutting this shit down. Here's the thing. I'm guaranteeing that there is some sort of non-disclosure clause written into this agreement. So she can no longer talk about this, I'm sure, publicly. But It's too late, motherfucker. Like, the doors have been opened, and now you have so many people kind of coming out and reiterating their path. And here's the thing, they told people it was public, but they just got dismissed, which is something that happens to victims. Sometimes they get dismissed, and that's a big part of the problem. In her statement, Ventura said, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Of course, the lawyers. Let's thank the lawyers. Good Lord, these lawyers. Combs said, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." I think he's lying. I don't think he wishes the best for this bitch at all. I bet he's like, this fucking bitch. The lawsuit alleged Combs brought the singer into an ostentatious, fast-paced, and drug-fueled lifestyle soon after she met him. Ventura was 37, now is 54, began a pattern of abuse as soon as their on and off relationship began. So the lawsuit was dropped. There was this really fucking funny picture of him looking all sad that's come out too. He looks all dejected and shit. Look at this was taken a few days, so let's read this. Dejected Diddy breaks cover. Sean Combs is seen looking very stressed in first appearance since settling rape lawsuit with ex-girlfriend Cassie. So Diddy has been spotted for the first time since settling his bombshell rape lawsuit with ex-girlfriend Cassie. The New York-born rapper 54 looked glum and held his head in his hands as he broke cover on Saturday outside his mansion in Star Island, Miami, Florida. He was seen alongside a woman believed to be his longtime chief of staff, Christina Crown, I'll say that, as she consoled him while they both sat wearing relaxed clothing on a sofa. R&B singer Cassie on Thursday filed a federal lawsuit. Yeah, we know that. So look, he's looking all sad. Why would she do this to me? And so, of course, as soon as he settles this out of court, everyone's like, guilty, motherfuckers, guilty. And I think he's right. I think they're right. And I get why they would want to settle this shit out of court. Like, why would you want to drag this out? Like, she has children now, and her children will have to face this kind of scrutiny. Your actions have consequences. Not saying he did. Well, I don't know. Like, here's the thing. So he has a long laundry list of fucking. Oh, by the way, Kesha gets P Diddy, changes P Diddy out of her song. Waking up like P Diddy. Kesha clearly dropped mention of Diddy in her hit song TikTok over the weekend after the rapper was accused of rape. Kesha was performing in Los Angeles this Saturday when she was filmed singing "Wake Up in the Morning Feeling Just Like Me" instead of "Waking Up Feeling Like P. Diddy." So she changed the words in support of Cassie and this now